If you do know whether or not it's harmful, please tell me. The night of the Dodge, my sleep score was actually only 40. We didn't even put the diesel in the car. That was somebody else. I have to possibly pay thousands of dollars, like thousands and thousands of dollars. Hi, I'm Trista. I've been drawn to the natural world for as long as I can remember, and staying true to my Sagittarius nature, I've been traveling overseas or adventuring in one of my camper cars whenever possible for the last 5 years. You could say I'm on a mission to live a simple, happy life in the great outdoors. Oh, and this is Thanos, and Gaia, and Evie, my 3 cats, and this is Jeremy, my partner in everything. I'm sure you'll see them around. Hit subscribe and come along for the journey. Hello guys, today I wanted to do a very quick Q&A and also talk about some rookie mistakes that we've been making with this Dodge Grand Caravan. About 2 weeks ago now, we went on a car camping trip and we slept in negative 30 or 35 degree weather. I think it was probably around negative 32. And so I wanted to answer questions about that. The first thing that someone asked me was about condensation and how we fixed that problem if we had it. So of course, if you're sleeping in a Dodge Grand Caravan, it's a very small space and you're breathing. And so that creates condensation in the car. I have personally always had this issue in all of the cars that I've slept in. There are videos of my Prius of me taking off the reflectix from the window, and you see condensation in the windows. In my Volkswagen, when I think I was like 18 or 19 or something, there is also condensation on the window, and the Dodge Grand Caravan was no different. However, it is a little bit harder in the winter with condensation because it's basically like cold water on everything. My hat was a little bit moist, and so was our comforter, because for some reason we brought a comforter to put over our sleeping bags, which I don't recommend. Our sleeping bags stayed nice and dry and warm, but the comforter was a little bit moist. And because it's so cold at negative 30-ish degrees, it gets kind of like freezing with that. So yeah, that kind of answers the condensation question. I think that maybe one way to avoid it would be to crack a window. Obviously, negative 35, we are not cracking windows. We do not want hypothermia, so that's not a solution. But I think maybe that could help. Other than that, do we have solutions for it? No. Do I know if it's harmful? No. Hopefully it's not. If you do know whether or not it's harmful, please tell me. But yeah, condensation, it was a thing and I didn't do anything about it. I feel like it's just part of the game. And yeah, especially where we live, it's extremely humid all the time, all year round. So definitely something we just have to deal with. Okay, the next question that I obviously got was how did we keep warm? So the first thing I want to state about this is that we're Canadian and we're very used to cold temperatures. As a teenager, I used to wear just like a sweater when it was negative 30 degrees out. I don't know how I did that, but that's the reality of it, is that we're really used to the cold. So someone who's like from Florida or something, or from California, I don't think that they would be able to handle the cold in the same way. I slept in a polar sweater with some sweatpants actually, and some socks, and I had a hat on just to cover my ears and my head, because I've heard that you lose most of your heat through the head. So that's kind of what I was wearing. And then we had a foam mattress, which I think I talked about in a past video. Foam mattresses are a lot better than air mattresses because air mattresses keep the cold and the cold just goes through them very easily. So definitely I would recommend a foam mattress. And then we had a sleeping bag. We slept on top of that sleeping bag, then another sleeping bag, and then a comforter, and obviously some pillows. And besides that, we just had reflectix around the car. The reflectix work to keep the heat in, or whatever temperatures in the car, keep that in. It tends to be heat because you're breathing and just being, and as beings we kind of have heat releasing from our bodies at all times. So it kind of gets a little bit warmer in there and it keeps the cold out. So that's kind of, all that we used. It worked extremely well in up to like negative 10 to 15 degrees. I do have to admit that at negative 30 or 35 degrees, it's a whole new ball game. You are cold, like as opposed to at negative 10 or negative 15, I could sleep like in shorts and a tank top and not be cold whatsoever. But at negative 30 or negative 35, I was actually cold, but we survived and we got through the night and it was fine. So that answers the question how we stayed warm. The next question I got was, did we actually get any sleep? And for that question, I wanted to actually share some stats about my sleep. So I have this Fitbit on me. Everyone I think knows what a Fitbit is. It basically tracks your exercise, your movement, your breathing, your heart rate, and it also tracks your sleep. So it knows when you're going into your deep sleep or if you're in light sleep or your REM cycles and everything. And so I was able to compare on a good night how much sleep I get versus how much I got in the Dodge. So on a typical night, I get about a good sleep score of between 74 and 80 points on 100. The night of the Dodge, my sleep score was actually only 40. And then if you go into the details of that, okay, so I think I got a total of 4 hours and 18 minutes fully asleep. Like not waking up, not restless, not moving. So 4 hours and 18 minutes, which I feel like is pretty good. I think a big reason of why I didn't sleep was because I was so excited to just make YouTube videos. I haven't been able to make YouTube videos about adventuring in quite some time, and it's such a big passion of mine. So having new footage to edit, I was just so excited that I couldn't sleep. If you guys watched my last video about the whole trip, then you would know that I was up at like 3 or 3:30 in the morning, ready to go. I was just so excited. So 4 hours and 18 minutes, I don't think that's too bad. I slept from 10:05 till 3:20 in the morning. Slightly insane, but that's how we roll on the road. Okay, in terms of my sleep schedule or sleep cycle, I should say, I spent 59 minutes awake or like restless, so that doesn't count in my sleeping time. So on top of the 4 hours and 18 minutes, I have an extra hour. So that's like 5.5 hours. I spent 38 minutes in REM, which is when you dream. And I spent 3 hours and 5 minutes in light sleep. That's 58% of my sleep cycle. That's a lot. And I spent 35 minutes in deep sleep. So I just also wanted to point out something that was really interesting. Normally, when I'm sleeping, I have about 54% of my heart rate being below my resting heart rate during the day. So a little more than half. And I think sometimes it's even better than that. When I was sleeping in the Dodge, only 14% of my heart rate was below my resting heart rate during the day. So it was almost like my body was awake for the whole night because I was in so much light sleep. So I just wanted to give you guys like that information so that it can kind of paint a better picture of how well I slept. I was really tired by the time I got home. But I think that was mostly because of the cold, because when I go car camping in the summer, I get a lot more sleep and a lot more good sleep. Do I prefer car camping or regular camping, and why? Honestly, I can't say which one I prefer. I think that car camping is more exhilarating. It's more exciting because it's something that's different. There's not a lot of people who do it. Like, I know a lot of people who go camping like on a regular basis, but to sleep in your car, I just feel like a lot of people don't do it. So it's something kind of different, which makes it more exciting. I also think that it's really cool that you can just pull over wherever you want almost and sleep there. I do get a little bit more nervous car camping than I do camping though. And in terms of comfort, I just feel like sometimes sleeping in a tent is more comfortable because you have the whole tent. And I know the Dodge Grand Caravan is really big, but the width is smaller, I find. So I don't know. I think there's pros and cons to both, and I definitely can't choose which one I like more. I like both. Okay, and the last question I've been getting is, do I still have my Prius? Yes, I still have my Prius. I'm not getting rid of her. I'm gonna say her. That just came it just came out. So I guess my car is a her. So I'm not getting rid of my Prius anytime soon. I really like my Prius, and I just feel like it's perfect size for me to sleep in. It's so good on gas. It's so reliable. I feel like I'm gonna have her for like 10 years. It's really good for my work and everything. So I definitely didn't get rid of my Prius. We got the Dodge Grand Caravan as a third car, as an adventure car. And we also kind of started a little business with her. And that's what I kind of want to get into. We made some rookie mistakes over the last month as we bought our Dodge Grand Caravan. The biggest one being that we got the Dodge Grand Caravan and we were putting original gas in it. And then the engine light came on, and long story short, someone checked it for us. And we found out that before was putting in the original, someone was putting in diesel. So the person that we bought the car from was putting diesel in the car. And at first we were thinking, that's no biggie, we'll just burn the diesel and then we're good to go. Very wrong. Then we started putting original again and we thought everything was fine. Then we actually switched to Supreme, as you might have also seen, not Supreme, sorry, Plus, as you might have seen on my last video. And then the engine light started coming on again. And then another light came on and we thought everything was fine and that we just needed to burn off this, like the plus gas that we put in and then go back to ordinary. But the light wasn't going off even after we went to ordinary. So we ended up buying a machine, like the OBD2 reader or the ODB2 reader, I don't know what it's called, to plug in to see what the check engine light was for. And it was saying that we had a first cylinder misfire. So we had to go get it repaired. We told him the garage and the mechanic the whole situation with the car. And he repaired it, obviously. He changed all the spark plugs and yada yada. And then we drove the car for a couple days and everything was fine and we thought everything was good. And then today we rented it out because that's what we're doing, is we're renting the car. And the person is like 5 hours away from here or 6 hours away from here and one of the lights is coming back on. And so I called my brother, who's a mechanic, and he's talking to me and telling us how putting diesel in a gas car can like really scrap the engine. And then I'm reading articles about how if you put diesel in a gas car to not even start the car, like bring it right away to get tow it to a mechanic so that they can empty out the gas tank. And that if you did turn it on, once it runs through the engine, it's just like so many problems after that and it's super expensive to fix and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, we didn't even put the diesel in the car. That was somebody else. And now we're going to have to possibly pay thousands of dollars, like thousands and thousands of dollars to repair this car that we just bought. So we're stressed. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few days. The moral of my story here is to not put diesel in your car, please. And if you do, please tell the person who you're selling your car to, because we are royally screwed right now, possibly. So right now we're just hoping that everything is fine, that it's not as big as of a problem as we thought, because when we brought it to the mechanic, they said everything was fine. They checked everything was good. We did the repairs that were necessary. So everything on the car should be fine. And I'm just really hoping that it is, and that it's just something minor that we can fix and then be back in business. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. That is my rookie story about our Dodge Grand Caravan. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any other questions about car camping or about car camping in the winter or about adventures or about the Dodge Grand Caravan or sleeping in a car or any of that stuff, feel free to leave it below in the comments section. And don't forget to give this video a quick thumbs up. That would really help support the video and support my channel. I will see you in the next video on Sunday. It'll be a little weekend vlog, a little adventure of mine when I was feeling pretty poopy. The next ones after that, I think, are going to be some hiking trips that I'm going to be going on in the Prius. That's that. I'll see you then. Mwah. Bye, guys.
The light in your eyes comes over me just like a sunrise. You set a scene, turning my gray skies blue.